Hello and welcome to Only Connect. After an exhausting weekend, every wall in my house is now plastered. So at least I'm not the only one. Returning to the quiz tonight are, on my right, Mick Levine, a native South African who was almost kidnapped by a taxi driver in Bangkok. Thomas Grinier, a chemical engineering graduate who discovered a liking for wine on a cross-channel ferry. And their captain, Christopher Ducklin, an amateur baker who built himself a bicycle out of bamboo. United by a zeal for wheels, they are the Journeymen. Now, Christopher, in your heat, you were strong on Grand Theft Auto, weak on Swallows and Amazons. Have you been revising anything specific?
Not necessarily. I think we've been just nursing our wounds after our defeat and engaging in watching some sport and some light quizzing.
That's the best way to spend time. Tonight you will be facing, on my left, Doriana Shirola, a computer science expert who enjoys visiting Roman ruins in Tunisia. Jim Smalley, a keen tennis player who encountered Timmy Mallet dressed as Ivan the Terrible at the Summer Palace in St. Petersburg. And their captain, Steve Lilly, a former Butlins redcoat who injured his back playing ice cricket in a former Soviet missile factory. All enthusiastic gin drinkers, they are the Junipers. Steve, in your first game, you were just pipped in the missing vowels round. How frustrating was that?
Extremely. Very, very frustrating. We just weren't quick enough.
Well, both you teams were actually brilliant in your first heats and were unlucky to lose. That does mean that the loser of tonight's match will be going home. So good luck, everybody. Journeymen, you won the toss. You'll be going first. Please choose an Egyptian hieroglyph.
2 reads, please.
2 reads. What is the connection between these clues? Here's the first.
Malcolm I of Scotland.
Is that something to do with Macbeth or...?
Could be. Shall we take the next?
Yeah.
So Macbeth, in the advance of Macbeth.
Yeah.
Next, please. John Bradman.
No idea who John Bradman is.
No, is it brothers? Is it John Bradman something like the less known brother of Don Bradman? Next, please.
Yeah. Do they have famous sons?
Famous fathers.
Famous fathers.
Yeah.
Okay, more famous fathers. These are people who have more famous fathers.
They're famous. They're famous sons.
I need to hear something very specific.
They are all no.
Sons of Donald. Sons of Donald.
They all have more famous fathers who are called Donalds.
Yes.
Who do you think will be in the last clue?
One of Donald Trump's sons.
I was thinking Donald Duck's father, like Scrooge McDuck, although
That's
his father.
Actually, Donald Trump's daughter, Ivanka Trump.
Okay.
Yeah.
They are all the children of famous Donalds. What can you tell me about their parents?
Donald Sutherland.
Donald Sutherland.
Obviously, the actor Donald Sutherland. Malcolm I of Scotland. King Donald II was his father, king from 943 to 954. What an early Donald. Wow. And what can you tell me about John Bradman?
Father, the famous Don Bradman.
Son of Don Bradman. He actually changed his name. John Bradman, the son of the great Donald Bradman, actually changed his name because of people constantly making the comparison. He changed it to Bradson, which is quite nice, S-E-N, a sort of Norwegian hint that he was the son of Bradman. He changed it, but they all have or had fathers named Donald. Well done. Junipers, what would you like?
Twisted Flax, please.
Twisted Flax. It's the music question.
Excellent.
What do these musical clues have in common? Here's the first.
Next, please. It's hard on the Pet Shop Boys, isn't it? So, next, please. Oh, it's Magic. Magic Heart. They're radio stations.
Very well done. You get extra points for coming in after only 3 clues. What did we hear?
We heard Gold by Spandau Ballet, Heart by the Pet Shop Boys, and Magic by Pilot.
Absolutely right. And what do you think the 4th clue would have been?
Oh, it's KMFM. No, I really don't know.
Wait a minute. Status Quo Caroline.
Of course.
So very well done. Like your opponents, you get 2 points. Back to you, Journeyman, for a choice.
The Horn Viper, please.
Horn Viper. What is the connection between these clues? Here's the first.
dragons.
Flag whales, mythical
Flag
creature.
whales, mythical creature, type of computer.
Chinese zodiac.
Next, please. Horse muscle.
Do you know what horse muscle is?
Well, that's muscle as in type
Yeah, type of the
shellfish. No. Next, please. Collie. Border dragon. Collie border. No, I'm not necessarily getting anything. Next, please. That's it.
blue.
Blue or
Blue dragon.
Blue dragon.
Blue dragon.
Well, blue.
Red, maybe. Colours.
Things that can be represented by colours.
Not it, I'm afraid. Junipers, do you know for a bonus point?
Are they all bearded?
Bearded. You get bearded varieties. You were considering blue, you were considering border, but it is bearded dragon, bearded horse muscle, bearded collie and bearded tit. Well done. You get a bonus point. And what question would you like?
Lion, please.
Lion. These are going to be picture clues. What do they have in common? Here's the first.
Lotus, I suppose. Oh, this was an Esprit thing. Lotus, Esprit. Next, please. Sprite. So Esprit, Sprite. They are anagrams of each other. So they're anagrams of each other. Sprite, Esprit. Okay. They're anagrams of each other. Sprite, Esprit.
Very good gambling there. Anagrams of each other. What do you think the other clues would have been?
Tripes.
Even more delicious, it would have been a platter of bananas and an arrow indicating the ripest, and more delicious still, a priest at clue 4. Well done. Journeymen, what would you like?
The water, please.
The water question is yours. What do your clues have in common? Here's the first.
Wise, careful, thrifty. Is that a quote from something or is it some sort of thing? Speak up.
Could be synonyms of something.
Okay. Next, please. Dreadful, cheap magazine. Oh, what? It's not poem. What, is it word the opposite or anything? Next, please. Oh, penny. Yeah. Penny dreadful, which is cheap magazine. Penny wise, yeah. Penny black. Ah. Yeah. Penny, please.
That is absolutely the right answer. The penny has dropped. That's the last clue. Finally understood. So far, we've yet to need all 4 clues in a question. Very well done. Penny wise means careful and thrifty. Penny dreadful, a cheap magazine. Penny black is a postage stamp. And penny dropped, you didn't need to see. What changed when the penny black was introduced in 1840?
Prepaid postage.
That was it. Before that, the recipient had to pay, didn't they? The post arrived and you had to pay to get it. Whereas the penny black came in and you put that on the thing you were sending. Well done. Back to you, Junipers, for the last question of the round, the Eye of Horus. What do your clues have in common? Here's the first.
Should do. Next, please.
Gotta see. Coral sea.
Add a C and you get a C.
Make the questions more difficult. These teams are too good. Add a C and you get a C. Very well done. Baltic, coral. The next clues were Aspian and Adriatic. We've taken a C off the name of a sea. You put the C back, you get the C. Very well done. After some brilliant quizzing then, at the end of round 1, the Journeymen have 4 points, the Junipers have 9. Well, in round 2, they can't see all 4 clues unless they don't know the answer. Because it's the sequence round, they may see a maximum of 3, and I want to know what comes forth. Journeymen, your turn to go first again. What would you like?
Lion, please.
Lion. What would come forth in this sequence? Here's the first.
Toys. OK, that's a film.
Robin
Williams. Next, please. Insects.
Oh, it's
Okay.
Pixar films, the subject of Pixar films in order.
Toy Story, A
Monsters,
Bug's Life,
and
but
then
then you
Monsters.
had Toy Story 2.
No, it was Toy Story, then Toy Story 2, then Bug's Life.
No, Toy Story 2 was after Bug's Life.
OK, so is it toys again?
No,
No,
it would be Monsters.
Yep.
Yeah,
Let's take the
as
third
in Monsters.
clue.
No, Monsters.
You're sure monsters? You OK with that? Monsters.
The answer is monsters. And the third clue would be toys. I very much enjoyed the little debate you had about Toy Story 2. Yes, so what are these films?
They're the subject of each of the Pixar films in order from the beginning. So Toy Story 1 has toys in them. Bugs Life has insects, and then Toy Story 2 has more toys, and then Monsters Inc. Subject is monsters.
Exactly so. And do you know what happened to Toy Story 2? Have you heard this story?
It was almost deleted.
It was deleted, yes. Do you know what happened?
It was a systematic clean of some of the old files, which led to both of the film being deleted before the animator's eyes.
Literally, someone typed in a code that deleted the film off the server. It was actually the technical director who'd been working from home that had a backup copy on her computer, and they wrapped her computer up in blankets like a newborn baby and took it to the studio and saved the film. Very good extra knowledge. Back to you, Junipers. What would you like?
Horned Viper, please.
OK. What would come forth in this sequence? Here's the first.
OK, 1 divided by 1 equals 0. 1 divided by 1 by 1 equals 0 or 0. Next, please.
These elements.
No. Next, please.
4 over 4 is word. D. 4 over 4 D.
4 over 4 equals D.
For what reason?
I'll hand you over to Jim.
What a cruel thing to do to Jim.
Yeah, thanks very much. D is the 4th letter. That's what I was figuring.
Not a sequence, I'm afraid. So, Journeymen, would you like to go for a bonus point?
4 over, well, 4/4 equals R?
Yes.
Yes.
Is the right answer. And why is that?
It's a wordy one. So the first letter of 1 is O, the second letter of 2 is W, the third letter of 3 is R, therefore the fourth letter of 4 would be R again.
That is exactly right. It is about letters. And, of course, we've chosen the first 4 letters this applies to. Why do you think we've chosen 1, 2, 3 and 4?
Because there's no 5th letter for 5.
You couldn't do it again, could you? There's no other number that has enough letters in its name to do this. You can only do it with the first 4 numbers. Well done, Journeyman. You get the bonus point and you get your own question. Which is it to be?
2 reads, please.
2 reads. What would come forth in this sequence? Here's the first.
Is that
Flag.
White and black in...
OK. Next, please. Oh, it's not bloodhounds, is it?
Could be horses, snooker, anything.
Is it not, or is it flags with big red stripes in the middle? Next, please.
Maybe it's not hexacolour, it's like the second colour could be red or something.
Do you think it's...
Is no, like 0, is maybe hex colours, like 0, 0, 0, 0, 0 is black.
No.
Maybe
Come on.
1, 1, 1.
3 seconds.
Go for it.
A blue stripe with a black number 3.
And why would that be?
Just having a guess at maybe hex colours, perhaps.
Not a sequence, I'm afraid. So a bonus chance for you now, Junipers.
Is it a full blue background with 3 on it?
Not the answer, I'm afraid. These are resistor colour codes.
Oh.
Yes, isn't that horrid? It's the first 4 in a sequence of electronic circuit board resistor codes, so 3 in orange. Orange. I actually wore an extra clue, but it still didn't help you. Unlucky. No bonus then, Junipers, but you may choose your own question.
Twisted Flax.
Twisted Flax. What would come forth in this sequence? Here's the first.
Next, please. Could be, yeah, but that's not going anywhere, is it? Next, please. It is, so it's heavy, soft, good, and firm.
Firm.
Yeah, it's firm, isn't it? Firm.
Is the right answer. And why is that?
They're racing ground terms.
It's the going in horse racing, isn't it? And we're going from wet to dry. So heavy, soft. A horse racing fan would then say good to soft, but the main terms, heavy, soft, good. They may be good to firm, and the answer would be firm. Well done. Back to you, Journeymen, for a choice.
The Eye of Horus, please.
The Eye of Horus. What would come forth in this sequence? Here's the first.
Is that a diamond or is that 2 letters? OK, next, please. Commonwealth. Is this amount
Maybe
of
the
star
Commonwealth
points? Points.
Commonwealth Star, I seem to remember, has 7 points.
765, so it could be the Star of David. You
Well,
think it's
wait.
The Star of David has a bit of 6.
6. What has 5?
Does the Star of Lakshmi have 8?
I don't know.
Okay, fine. So that's
It could be 8,
7.
6, 5.
Yeah.
Just a 5-pointed star.
5-pointed star, like the
So
star on the
pentagram.
Stars and Stripes.
Slim,
Yeah,
yeah.
called pentagram.
Okay, fine. A star on the Stars and Stripes.
For what reason?
5-pointed star. So
That's absolutely right. We went with the star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, but any 5-pointed star. Which of these clues are you familiar with?
Commonwealth Star.
And where would you see that?
Flag of Australia.
That's exactly right. The Star of David, of course, 6-pointed star. Star of Lakshmi, that's an 8-pointed star made of connected squares, and it represents the 8 forms of wealth provided by the Hindu goddess Lakshmi. So 8-pointed star, 7-pointed, 6-pointed. I wanted to hear a 5-pointed star. Well done. We return to you, Junipers, for the last question of the round, the water question. These are going to be picture clues. What sort of thing would you expect to see in the 4th picture? Here's the first.
Shilling. It's a shilling. It's a shilling. So, what sequence can we get from shilling? 5p. 5p from shilling.
Yeah, could be a florin, so it could go downwards. So.
Next, please. Next, please. Two backwards.
2 seconds.
3 French hens. It's really not. It's really not.
A nice guess, but it's not 3 French hens. Journeymen, do you know for a bonus?
It's baked in a pie.
pie.
It's a delicious pie.
Oh, well played.
And why?
A penny pot being something of rye, 20 and how many, can't remember how many blackbirds baked in a pie.
That's it. You're quizzing very well tonight, Thomas. It's that rhyme, sing a song of sixpence. It's not wheat, it's rye. Sing a song of sixpence. A pocket full of rye, 4 and 20 blackbirds baked in a pie. Very well done. You get the bonus. That means at the end of round 2, the Junipers have 11 points. The Journeymen have 12. Well, frankly, the scores are too close and the teams are just a little bit too clever, so we're going to have to ratchet up the difficulty. It's the connecting wall. 4 groups of 4 connected clues, all jumbled up, 16 clues in a blizzard, and there are red herrings that fit into more than one group, but only one perfect solution. Looking forward to it, Junipers?
Absolutely.
Well, you get to choose first. Would you like lion or water?
Water, please.
Water. OK, you have 2.5 minutes to solve this wall, starting now.
Okay, what have we got here? So pen and teller. No other magicians.
State universities, Penn State, Kent State. Oh, they're state abbreviations. So Massachusetts, Mississippi, Pennsylvania.
Kentucky.
Good.
C here, C, C-O. No, that's not help. So Richards, Dominic's. Dominic West, Dominic Grieve,
Yes. Dominic Cooper,
Dominic Cooper,
Dominic Cork,
Dominic Cooper.
3 lives now, plenty of time.
Fish. Fish? No.
Daniels, is there something in the words? Cook. Hunt. No. It's D, isn't it? 500's D.
Yeah. Bert, Dan.
Person, Ham. No. No.
That's really wrong.
30 seconds.
Monsters.
Milton Durham.
Yeah, we've got clues, haven't we? We've got chances. So it's,
10 seconds.
fine, let's use them. We've got the chances, right? Quick.
D.
That's it. The time is up and the wall has frozen, but you found 2 groups. What about the connections? Kent, Penn, Mass, Miss.
Abbreviations of US states.
Yes, I don't know that Kent is a formal abbreviation, but they stand for American states. They are the first letters of Kentucky, Pennsylvania, Massachusetts, Missouri, or Mississippi, in fact. And the next group, Cooper, West, Cork, Grieve.
They're all famous Dominics.
They are Dominics. Dominic West played Fred West, and Wikipedia actually points out no relation. And you can still get points for the connections in the groups you didn't find, so let's resolve the wall. Angel, Burton, Daniels, Durham.
Are they cakes?
They are not cakes, they're magicians. You did mention Penn and Teller, but
Paul Daniels.
that's not them. It's Chris Angel, the magician, Lance Burton, Paul Daniels, and Geoffrey Durham, the great soprendo, of course. And the last group, Teller, Cookie, Hunter, 500.
Something to do with D.
It's not D. It is about the words. You can put fortune in front of all of them. But you found two groups and gave me two connections on that tough wall. That is 4 points. Let's bring in their opponents now, give them the other wall, the lion wall, see what they can do about solving it. You will have 2.5 minutes to solve this wall, starting now.
So, train spotting.
Films by Danny... No.
Trunchbull, Puppet, Twit, Face.
Are these characters in Roald Dahl? So you have Identity Man.
Twit, Trunchbull, Over Assault.
Link. Theory. Is any prefix or suffix to theory?
String, gravity.
String theory.
String cheese.
String cheese.
String bean.
String bean and
String quartet.
No. Right,
Yes.
what's the other?
String puppet.
String puppet.
Right.
So
Do you
leave out,
want
yeah,
monster?
leave out cheese. So string bean, string theory, and string quartet.
Leave out
Yes,
puppet.
So leave out quartet.
Leave out theory.
Leave out
Leave out beam.
Train spotting, snap, ravenous. Things are being hungry. No. Before Monty.
Maybe in terms of the whole thing.
Are there hidden animals? So bull, raven.
Nothing else. Hazel. Hazel was a. Was he a TV detective?
I don't know.
I think.
Should we
Face
try for...
pint. Are there measures?
There are.
Veruca salt. Yes.
There's
Twit.
something else.
Half pint, half bean, half.
Half twit.
No, half wit. No, that's half wit, isn't it? It's,
Okay.
so we've got Roald Dahl. Face. Face is 18, but it's not 18.
30 seconds.
Face time. Facebook.
Bean is a film as well.
Pint, half pint, measure. No letters you can add to. Train.
10 seconds.
Try for films. Quickly do some films, maybe.
That's it. The time's up and the wall has frozen. What a horrible wall, but you found a group on it. What's the connection? Cheese, puppet, quartet, theory.
Preceded by string.
You can put string before all of them, and there are points available for the connections in the groups you didn't find. So let's resolve the wall. There it is. Train spotting, ravenous, face, the full Monty.
British films.
With maybe Risa fans. They're all.
That's not. It's not Rhys Ifans. It's Robert Carlyle. Robert Carlyle is in all of those films. And the next one, Trunchbull, Salt, Bean, Hazel.
They're all characters from Roald Dahl books.
They are the characters, the villains, in fact, from Roald Dahl. Miss Trunchbull from Matilda. Veruca Salt, I think you knew. Bean is the farmer in Fantastic Mr. Fox, and Victor Hazel in Danny, Champion of the World. And the last group, Snap, Twit, Pint or Pint, Link or Link. What's that?
You can add to the end of them.
You said Facebook. Yeah. It's Snapchat, Twitter, Pinterest and LinkedIn. They are the first 4 letters of those sorts of social media things, but Facebook wasn't one of them. Yeah. But you did find one group and you gave me 2 connections, so you get 3 points. Let's have a look at the overall scores. The Journeymen have 15, the Junipers have 15. So it just couldn't be closer. I mean, Junipers, you've had an incredibly close match before. We'll find out who goes through to the next round and who goes home with the fastest fingers first buzzer round. It's missing vowels time. Fingers on the buzzers then, teams. I can tell you that the first group are all ballets and their composers. Journeymen.
Swan Lake and Tchaikovsky.
Correct. Junipers.
Giselle and Adam.
Correct. Journeymen.
Spartacus and Khachaturian.
Well done. Journeymen.
Cinderella and Prokofiev.
Yes, it is. Next category, things said by Freds. Journeymen.
Yabba Dabba Doo.
Fred Flintstone. No, it's Fred and Scooby-Doo. Let's split up and look for clues. Next clue. Junipers.
Just Dance.
That's Fred Astaire. Junipers.
Right.
Said Fred. Next category, song lyrics with repeated words. Junipers.
Gimme, 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 a man until midnight.
Not it, I'm afraid, Journeymen, do you know?
Gimme a man after midnight.
Gimme, 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 a man after midnight. Next clue. Journeymen.
Karma, 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 chameleon.
Not it, I'm afraid, Junipers, do you know?
Karma, 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 chameleon.
That's it. Next clue. Journeymen.
Chick, 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 chicken.
I'm afraid you'd need some extra C's for chick, but the bell has gone, so I can't throw it over. The answer is Chaka, 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 Chaka Khan. And looking at the final scores, the Journeymen finish on 18 points, the Junipers on 18 points. You don't finish at all.
Oh, no.
It's a tie-break. This is going to be captains only. The others may not speak. There will be one clue. If you buzz in correctly, you take your team through to the next round. If you buzz in incorrectly, you automatically put the other team through to the next round. You've all been brilliant. Any result is fair and unfair at once. Fingers on buzzers, captains. Your tie-break clue is coming in now. Junipers.
Resistance is futile.
Is the right answer. Junipers, you are through to the next round. Journeymen, it couldn't have been closer. You've done some brilliant quizzing. I am so sorry to lose you. You're one of the strongest teams we've ever lost in this first round. You've been absolutely terrific, and perhaps we'll see you again in some other special one day. It can be very hard to escape. Junipers, well done. You kept your cool. You won the tie-break. We will see you again later in the series. And that is it. Coming up next on BBC Two, in a change to the published schedule, it's another of those lovely treasure hunts where well-known BBC faces bury gold that members of the public have to find. Tonight, is it hidden among the flowers on Michael Portillo's allotment? The contestants try to find out. That's Rummaging in Michael's Bloomers, next on BBC Two.